Can you imagine fighting with something like this on a 15-pound bucket on top of your head? Holy smokes. And all the rest of the armor adding up to, you know, you're lugging around like 100 pounds. Man, I couldn't do it. Tough stuff. Smaller scale. I want a suit of armor for my medieval place that I'm working on. I've got this little plastic guy. Found him at the dollar store with a bag of other guys. He was about the only one that looked half decent. Okay, so this stuff, it's called sophisticated finishes, but I've seen it in other brand names. I just can't remember the names of it. I get this at Michael's, unfortunately, because the stupid interior hobby store that we have here does not carry anything. And when they do, it's priced higher than Michael's, can you believe it or not? So anyways, if you get one of those 40% coupons, go up and buy yourself some of this stuff, okay? This one is called Black and Bronze, but they have it in metal, they have it in iron, gold, a couple different types of gold. Gold is really nice if you're doing a gold effect on, you know, one of your little guys on his suits or something like that. It's a really nice looking gold effect, okay? And what you do is you brush it on, let it dry, put on another coat, let it dry overnight, and that kind of cures the metal because it's actually got little bits of bronze in it or little bits of iron in it. Then they have an antiquing solution, which is basically an oxidizing agent, okay? And the antiquing solution is the same pretty much across the board. If I'm not mistaken, it's the same chemical that's in all the antiquing solutions. So don't buy a kit, buy it singularly. Just buy yourself one bottle of the antiquing solution, and then the smaller bottles are probably better because it'll harden on you, okay? It's like, you know, enamel paint or whatever, you know, it'll harden. Kind of dangerous stuff. It's not a project for little Jimmy, okay? It's kind of dangerous stuff in that it's, you know, it's a weird kind of chemical with iron in it, okay? Anyways, brush it on, let it dry, put on a second coat, let it dry overnight, and then when you take your antiquing solution, the oxidizing agent, and you can have, in this case, it'll go green. The iron will go rusty. So yeah, I don't know if you've seen it on like on a portcullis or around a grate around your creek or water. I'll paint toothpicks with the iron and let them dry, and then antique them with the oxidizing agent, and they'll come out looking just like rusty iron grating off. Perfect. Go search some of this stuff down. Anyways, that's what I'm going to use on my suit of armor. This is going to be one of my next diorama projects. Is a castle medieval style war room with, you know, swords and crossbows and stuff. This is a little crossbow that I made. I don't know if you saw my video on making a little matchstick catapult. This is a little crossbow that I've made here. I was going to try getting it to be working, but the trigger mechanism, once you get it cocked on here, is just a bit too tough. Oh. And there's so much pressure on the little pin that pokes through here that it won't actually release. There's got it somewhat cocked there. Okay, so what I've done is taken the matchstick, I've drilled several holes down through the middle here, okay, and then one through the side. It's matchstick size. Okay, this is a bobby pin that I've cut, so that's my spring steel. And then the trigger mechanism is a wire piece here. I'll try to hold it steady for you. There. You see that wire there? It's bent in a loop and up through there, so that when you know, lift on the lever, releases the string. Now the string is, if I make a bowstring tight enough on here, there's too much pressure on the pin, so to get one to really work here, I don't know what I'm going to have to do. Probably use that stretchy, elasticy thread, you know, the stuff that they sew in clothing and stuff. That would work. Okay. So anyways, on top of it, or well, not on top of it. I want to make a little medieval weapons room. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm making some swords for the weapons room, and what I'm doing is I'm using those staples that, or what do they call these things? Little nails that they put in those nail guns. Okay. I don't know what the heck these things are called. Can't remember. Anyways, those little nail guns. Okay. Kind of like a staple gun, but it shoots these little nails. Okay, rivets work really good too, come to think of it. But anyways, on these little nails, the top half here has got some knurling on it, so that makes a really good hilt. And because it's kind of a aluminum alloy steel, they pound really easy. So I've got a piece of old railroad track here. That's what I use for an anvil. As summertime goes, the tracks, they expand and contract, so they're always cutting off little chunks of railroad piece. So I just went and picked one up. Makes a great anvil. Okay, so you take one of these nails and a ball peen hammer and flatten out your blade. Okay, so here's a little scimitar type sword that I've made. It's got excellent handle, you know, the blade looks great, so I'm going to make up a whole bunch of those and use them in my medieval weapons room kit. And now while I got you up close, I wanted to show you these little block and tackle pulleys that I've made from the guitar strings. I don't know if you can see those. Anyways, speaking of weapons, that's going to be for the trebuchet, big trebuchet that I'm building. Here's my suits of armor that are going in there. Yeah, they're Kinder toys, but they're cool, they're metal.